Action Comics issue 1032. So, this is continuing with the refugees. Now we now know that one of them, was sent by Mongol to, whether or not she's like, believes this or she's in support of Mongol. Feels more like complete, not brainwashing, but like just the break that down to the point where she's.
It's not. I mean, it is brainwashing, but not exactly how we think. It's just.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain. She is mentally conditioned to just accept this abuse, and that's when they tried to take the chains off, she freaked out.
Yeah, which they teased that last issue, but they kind of reiterate it here, where Superman, it feels quite bad that he tried to and doesn't know.
Yeah, the fact that he feels guilt about it and this is why I like that Philip Kennedy Johnson, having this deep understanding of Clark Kent, right, is that all he wanted to do is help, but then the fact that it made her so much worse. Now he feels bad about it, and not that he pushes it off on Lois, but he tells Lois, "Hey,
you probably know
she's gonna trust you.
Me.
Yeah, so let's do what we can to help her." And also that through her going through her exploring of the library of Kandor, right? She's found there was this might be this ancient Kryptonian colony called the Philosians, and that's where this person might have originated from. So I thought that was pretty good there. I like any kind of ancient Kryptonian.
I thought it was really interesting to see Kara and
Helix.
Was it Helix or just the Fortress in general? Whatever, they're conversing in Kryptonian.
Which I wanted. I know I could have went and found a cipher, and I was going to. I did not have time today.
Honestly, Matt, I think it's almost healthier that you did not. So
wait, you don't want me to do it? That means I have to do it now.
Yeah. So, because obviously Superman asked about the branding, like the House of L symbol being on her hand, and she kind of tells the truth, but also not, in a way. Obviously, she kind of doesn't tell the exact truth because she is kind of programmed to infiltrate in whatever Mongol's plan ultimately is. She does fire off a blast of a type of heat vision. It's not the same as the others, though.
Right, a little bit different. It's kind of similar to John's, which I thought was interesting.
I think it's very telling that we will get to Godzilla in a minute, but not Godzilla's atomic breath. It looks very similar to what this does.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I would say, it's kind of similar to when John changed what part of the spectrum he was on, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because I read Superman first. This is one of the ones I saved for last as well, and it felt like that ultraviolet vision.
Yeah. But basically, they theorized that because they are, this colony was so ancient that they have kind of evolved a little bit differently. So they're reacting. They're still getting powers from the sun, but it's reacting a little. It's not the exact same as Clark and John and other Kryptonians. But yeah, so Lois shows compassion, makes her feel at home and comfortable. And in the second half of the issue, things take a completely different spin because the artifact is down in Atlantis starts reacting, and there's some obviously debates about what to do with it. And it basically raises a monster from under the ocean, and then it turns out to be multiple monsters because then we get to the pier later on. There's do you know what it is? It's Pacific goddamn Rim. Some of them even look like the kaiju from Pacific Rim.
One of them looks like Godzilla.
That big first one is just Godzilla.
Yeah.
The first one?
I gotta say, Superman fight Godzilla. This book is fantastic.
Yeah, the big one that comes out of the wall with all the symbols on it. It's clearly just meant to be Godzilla. And it has, like I said, the atomic breath and everything.
It looks nothing like Godzilla.
I get Superman punching Godzilla here, and then he flies down into him, and then it's not Godzilla at all. It becomes this weird temple with Lovecraftian themes, and there's a Superman kind of Kryptonian symbol on there.
Very Kingdom Come-esque, actually.
Yeah, Kingdom Come Superman. But just the whole idea that there's a god that is dreaming, and that now he's aware that we know that he's dreaming. That brings about the end of the world. That's Cthulhu, right? Like that's Lovecraftian mythos. So now we have Philip Kennedy Johnson pulling that into Superman, which I never thought I would ever need, right? But the fact here that then Superman puts this all together because he's like, I've seen these markings before, and whatever this is talking to him, and they tell the story of one who is gone but must one day return, and this is where it got really Lovecraft to me. And it says, "He awaits your coming, Superman of Earth. Few will play a greater role in his story as you." And that's when he sees the Kingdom Come S. And he goes, "I don't know what any of that means, but I know this is just an illusion." And then he freezes Godzilla from the inside. And it pretty damn cool. But yeah, and then we end up getting an international incident between Steve Trevor coming down on a helicopter ladder, which is pretty cool, and arguing with Aquaman about basically you're going to turn that over to us, and Aquaman's like, we don't have to do anything. And yeah, which leaves Superman distinctly in the middle here because he doesn't want the U.S. to go to war with Atlantis. We've already done that. You know,
I'm digging this look for Steve Trevor when he's coming down on the rope ladder from the chopper with the goat. I'm like, Special Agent Steve Trevor is something that we haven't had in a while, and I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, and I like that he is the liaison to the Justice League, right? Deep down. So of course he's gonna go down to talk to Arthur and be like, "Hey, you need to turn that over because whatever that was just turned monsters to come and attack one of our cities." You know. Yeah. But I also feel like the Atlanteans now, they're under whatever. I don't want to say a spell, but whatever the stone's doing, they're definitely been affected by it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But yeah, a lot of fun stuff coming in here. Sam Pierre's art is top notch. Like I feel like
this is, especially the back half of this issue, where playing with kaiju is where he excels.
Yes. But I would say that in the front half too, like the scene with Kara and Helix and just the way all that looks, like I just feel it all looks very nice. I think that's a lot of the colorists too doing a lot of that because you have all the blues and the pinks and the purples all going off of each other, and it's a real nice image. I like his Kara.
Yeah, Adriano Lucas doing the colors.
Yeah, so the Kara looks good here too. But yeah, and his Superman, it just looks classic. We didn't even talk about the Batman. Did we talk about the Batman section?
No, we brushed over the Batman section.
This is really the
kaiju.
Gotcha. This was really the only part that took a step back for me, and I feel like something gets lost in the storytelling here, where you know Superman goes to Gotham to basically have Batman to pick Batman's brain on what he thinks this stuff is about the refugees, and there's this whole section that if I'm reading it left to right flows, but like he says, if New Mongol can subjugate Kryptonians, that would suggest they don't have your abilities. And then Batman says, why not? So is he asking the question, why wouldn't they have the abilities? I feel like there's a speech bubble missing here on Superman.
No, I think it's a continuation. I think it's meant to be, it's just showing the pause, like, you know, Batman saying, that would suggest they don't have your abilities, and then pause, like, why not? Like, why don't they? They just want it. I think it's just like this in a second panel that makes it feel
then he thinks it out and then says, well, one of them just kind of experienced their abilities seemingly for the first time. So there's still clearly a reaction happening eventually, but it's not quite the same thing.
Gotcha. That was the only thing that I felt like there was a disconnect between the storytelling, but I guess I mean, if you guys didn't have an issue with it, that's just me reading, you know. But it just felt like there was something missing, like the why not was just in a weird spot, I guess, too. But that's a really cool image of Batman, right?
I think it's because typically, if that had just been all in the same speech bubble, and after it doesn't have your abilities, it was just a comma, and then why not?
Right.
You wouldn't have even thought twice about it. So I will say, there is arguably a problem that there is. It's not quite as clear as it could be, even though me and Pete presumably read it as intended. I can definitely see where the confusion comes from.
Right. And so that, again, that's really the only main criticism I have for this issue. Like, this is, I feel like Kennedy Johnson's hitting his, or Philip Kennedy Johnson, say his full name, is really hitting his stride on Superman with action right now. And we barely scraped the surface of it. So I'm here for this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the kaiju stuff is mostly fun. It's the art's good. The general thing, it does feel a little bit random that this artifact's creating monsters. It's kind of a little bit comic booky in a weird way, where Philip Kennedy Johnson's stuff up until now has felt more grounded in what it's trying to say about the character, as opposed to random comic book thing to fight. Everything's felt like it's sort of felt into it. That said, we don't necessarily have the overall context yet for why this artifact exists, where it comes from, or why it's doing what it's doing.
Yeah, we know it's older than Atlantis, based off of what Volko and Merrick were talking about.
Yeah.
So it's been around for a while, and who knows what this is. But again, I was getting big Lovecraftian vibes just based off of some of the discussion here.
I'm getting, Johnson loves his fantasy stuff. He did the Last God. I'm getting vibes of that coming in. Like, okay, he's gonna start playing with some other ideas, not just core superhero stuff as well.
Right.
Yeah. All right, we give it a Matt.
This is a 9.5.
Huh?
Wow. 8.5. But I thought it was great.
Yeah, I will go with an 8.5 as well. I think I'm agreeing with that.